He can play right-handed and left-handed. Oh, they may have hit an out ball. Might have been going out.
Max Manthau with the finishing touch, played college tennis at Washington University. Has a fascinating story as well as in the Peace Corps in Indonesia, amongst other facts Adam Stone was sharing with us this morning.
Very high energy player, very dynamic.
Yeah, I was chatting with him a bit before this. He does not like playing the soft game as
No.
much as speeding it up.
I played some points with him yesterday. Yes, he likes the fast game. That's a big serve. Oh.
And Brendan Long, by the way, was dealing with some illness this morning. There was talks about him maybe not being in the mix. Roscoe Bellamy was set to step in, and then Long decided he was okay to go, and so that's shifting around for the slice last minute.
Yeah. We have Chicago Slice up to a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, they need it. Losing the women's doubles game puts more pressure to even out the series on the guys.
Oh! Oh, that is such a great point. I mean, I think I counted maybe about 4 dinks total in that whole rally. Everything else was a hands battle and a speed up.
Oh, to bounce off the tape for Manthau. And another point over to Chicago.
These guys are playing some dynamic pickleball right now. Everybody is firing. I love to see it.
Yeah, no dings to be seen here. We love to see it on championship court. This is the first round of action. The 9 and the 10 seed going at it. That's a big serve with a funky bounce.
It was right off the line, so it skidded.
Winner of this one will take on the undefeated team from DC, the Las Vegas Night Owls.
That was a really good volley from Eric Lang. He kept it simple, and then he also was able to get slightly down on the ball. Nice volley from Jack Monroe, getting it down at Manthau's feet.
Jack Monroe currently attending the University of Texas, managing a college education with a pro pickleball career. Big serve from Brendan Long to Manthau's corner.
Oh,
big speed up from Eric Lang from the kitchen.
Little miss hit from Jack Monroe.
Yeah, you mentioned the ambidextrous asset for Jack Monroe. He had a shoulder injury back in the day with baseball, so forced himself to be.
Yes, he was a natural righty. The injury made him start playing left-handed. And it's funny, like at the end of last year, I suffered a tear in my elbow, so I had to get PRP done on it. And for that month and a half, I also played left-handed because I wasn't allowed to use my right hand.
No kidding.
And it's kind of fun, you know. After a while, you're like, oh, this is actually fun, kind of playing with your non-dominant hand. And then other shots as you come back get better.
Guessing that two-handed backhand would benefit from that.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Tie game, 7-all, change ends at 13. Brendan Long, 34 years old, based out of Naples, Florida.
Ooh. That was a nice cut dink that Brendan Long hit. It stayed really low.
Another big put away for Eric Lang.
Eric Lang has a big, big forehand. Anything above his shoulder rarely comes back on that forehand side.
Big play from Brendan Long, creating that pressure from the kitchen. Love to know after this point if there's anything strategically speaking that you would identify from this one and what that X factor might be in your mind.
So what I've noticed so far is that all these guys have decided we're not going to dink very much. Now, I imagine, I feel like they're probably all playing to their strength, which is the hands and the fast. So, you know, there is kind of the strategy of, do we play to our strengths or do we play to our opponent's weakness? And I think that's like a personal preference. You know, right now the game is still pretty close, so I think everybody's going to do what they're most comfortable and what they want to do. If the score kind of gets away, then maybe players will kind of change that strategy. But it's working for everybody right now. Oh, big overhead from Brendan Long. And I like that he hit it down the middle. I think a lot of the times people try to go for, you know, these crazy lines and angles, and sometimes hitting that ball right down the middle does a well enough job.
Long back to serve now, the man foul.
Great hands battle from all four guys. That was really good.
Brendan Long maybe felt like he had that one in his pocket.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was trying to get down on it, which is the right idea at that point because it was high enough. He just closed his paddle a little too much, which is why it hit the tape.
Off the tape.
Net cord.
Long will take one back. And a 1-point lead with it. 1 point away from the end change for Chicago.
That's
nice.
a really good ding from Eric Lang. So what's funny is it looked like Max was also going to hit it because it was it was in the middle, and I think he sort of created a screen because both Brendan and Jack were looking at Max and not at Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice ding from Brendan. Kind of similar. He had hit that dink earlier into that kind of backing corner of Max Manthau. And he had created an unforced error earlier. And then another one there. And we're at the switch, 13-12 for Chicago Slice.
So what do they need to do, Long and Monroe, to hold on to the lead? And on the other side, Manthau and Lang, how would you like them to potentially adjust?
So what I will notice is, again, Brendan Long has hit a couple of cut backhand dinks into Max Manthal's corner, forcing him to hit a backhand dink. And he's gotten some errors from there, so I would kind of keep that in the back of my head as, oh, this might be a spot I can go to going forward. Again, I think all 4 players are trying to hit big serves, big drives. You know, they all want the hands because I think they like that. That's what, that's what they're comfortable with. But, for Chicago Slice, I think kind of keeping in the back of their head that backhand corner of Max is a spot you can go to if you cut it. And, for Eric and Max, I kind of like the way they're playing. Like, it's only 13-12. Like, they're playing well. Like, everybody's playing pretty clean. They're not missing too many shots. So, keep going for it.
Speaking of hands, Adam Stone, a very active hand talker, the legendary general manager, coach of the SoCal Hard Eights.
Oh, as I said, no one has. I think that's the first third I've actually seen missed for this whole game. Yeah. That was a good move from Jack Monroe. He moved to attempt an Ernie, which then directed the ball back towards Brendan Long's forehand in the middle. Nice. Very athletic Ernie from Max Manthal.
I call Max Manthal Purple Jesus.
Yes.
That's because he had hair down to his hip, he told me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
That's where he got the nickname from.
Nice.
Another nice play from Manthal.
The other thing that Max Manthal likes to do that I've noticed is when his partner is returning, he will stay back with him, which is very unusual for, normal pickleball. Usually your partner is at the kitchen line, but Max likes to stay back and...
Wow, right to the left foot of Jack Monroe.
And apparently he's just like, yeah, I just like the exercise.
No, is that why?
Yeah. Just wants to get some extra steps in, Oh, yeah, that's another one. I think that's about 3 or 4 now that, they've kind of hit into that backhand corner of Max that he's missed.
Chance to tie it here for Chicago. Brendan Long serving over to Manthal.
Oh, alrighty there. What's funny is as soon as I saw the windup, I was like, oh, he might go for this. And he did.
Picked the right target. Straight ahead, low to the hip.
Now, was that ball staying in? No, it was not.
But it's tougher to get out of the way.
Yes, it was not meant to stay in. Oh, that is a great reload from Max. He kept it really short, and he was ready for the next one. Quick hands there. All right, SoCal Hard Ace is leading 18-15. Good eye from Jack. Way to let that go. I think there was a couple of drives that could have been let go that have been played. But again, in pressure situations, it's really hard to believe to let it go and to just trust it. But
especially when you have a split second to react.
Exactly.
Into the net goes Brendan Long. SoCal back on top by 3. Manthal now over to Brendan Long.
Oh, the net cord.
Tough bounce for Jack Monroe.
Oh, and we this is a good timeout. I like this timeout from Chicago Slice.
And Chicago Slice now on a 4-point hole, but we've talked about it. The rally scoring can create interesting opportunities for comebacks at any moment. And Major League Pickleball is known for a lot of things, but one of them is the ownership and the star power in the group. Chicago Slice, no shortage of star power on their list. They also have some of the part owners listed here: Heidi Klum, Doug Ellen, Chris Everett, and many other big names. And on the SoCal Hard 8 side, they're a franchise that have been around since 2022. Tim Parks, Rick Chan, Greg Cunningham, and Kevin Wang. Group of friends that became passionate about this pickleball thing and saw the opportunity here with Major League Pickleball. They're known for being very active and trying to improve their team. They created a dynasty last year. They had a tough outing in Atlanta, made the proper adjustments. First one being Yana Newell, also in that mix, the waiver wire period. They also traded 3 different slots in the Challenger waiver wire to take cash considerations as well on 2 of those. That intel coming from Tim Parks, the general manager and owner of this team. Another miss. That's a tough one for Chicago. First lob of the match creates chaos. And another point for SoCal. And also new this tournament, Jesse, we have passive line judges for all the matches. So that means you can still challenge whatever call you want, but they are here to help guide the lead referee on line calls.
Yeah, as a player, it's so hard to focus on everything and then also still be able to see the lines clearly. So having the passive line refs is a great addition. It's one less thing we have to worry about.
That's nice play by Jack Monroe. What else do they need to continue to do on the side of the slice to edge a comeback here?
Yeah, I think, they're rushing a little bit, so just take a deep breath and, kind of play high percentage. Again, remember kind of that backhand corner of Max Manthau. They've gotten a few points there when Brendan Long cuts it to that corner.
Little wilds from Eric Lang. He knows it.
All right, they need to get a couple more points. Again, as I said, as you get close to the end here, you want to keep it close. So they can get 1 or 2 more here. I mean, the reload on Max Manthau, like, he is so dynamic and he's just so quick on getting ready for the next ball. I don't think he wants to dink.
No, he doesn't.
So that's
direct from his mouth this morning. He said those exact words. And I said, me neither.
A misreturn from Brendan Long. And now we have a game point at 24-18 for SoCal Hard 8.
Man, a chance to go up 2-0 in this matchup. And Brendan Long shuts the door on that thought for now, reaches in, throws it down the middle. Chicago running out of real estate. But a chance for a comeback here.
That's a big serve.
That's what it's going to take.
Use it, yeah. It's a great serve from Brendan Long.
There's the extra steps Manthau is trying to get in, as you mentioned, staying back on the return.
But here's the thing. He gets up to the kitchen line by the time, the opponent hits the third, so he's there.
Game point number 2 for the Hard 8s. Rally scoring games of 25, but you have to win it on your serve if you're new to Major League Pickleball and wondering what's happening here.
Oh, that is a good spot right there. Let's see if Brendan Long can hit another big serve here.
And that winning on your serve aspect helps to create more comebacks as well on the other side, as we observed after the Atlanta event. Oh, Purple Jesus. Max Manthau all over the counter to the opening cross court.
He was ready for that one. And again, that's where the two-hand backhand comes in handy, because he was able to use his left hand to pull it behind Brendan Long cross court, where it's much trickier with the one hand to actually accomplish that.
Oh, Manthau welcomed the speed up, but Jack Monroe was one better. Side out in point. 2-point game now for Chicago.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good spot down the middle. A little miscommunication from Chicago Slice.
High percentage to your point. Game point number 3 for the Hard Eights. Ooh, Monroe initiates.
Way to get out of the way.
Chicago
nice
fends off 3 game points. Now they're 1 point away from tying it. Massive.
Timeout. We've got a timeout from SoCal Hard Eights. Eric Lang has called a timeout. That's a good timeout.
Massive
I like
point.
It.
This is a massive point here for both sides. Interesting to see what Adam Stone will have to say on the SoCal Hard Eights side. And he's talked to us before about the role of general manager here. You have to find the balance. And from a player standpoint, you can share what you like, what you don't like from a coach in these moments of sometimes it's just emotional guidance, sometimes it's confidence boosting, sometimes
so for me
it's
personally,
strategy.
It's all strategy.
Yeah.
I love someone, like when I call a timeout, I'll go over, to whoever's in my corner and be like, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me where to hit the return, where to hit my third. Where am I dinking? Like just.
Well, you've got Ben Johns on your side, so that's got to be
exactly.
pretty good cheat code.
I think for me, just having kind of like, because again, it's like there's so much going on. So if you can just have less to think about and just know what you need to do, it just makes it easier.
Chance to tie it here for Chicago. 23-24 is the score.
Oh, another good eye from Brendan Long.
3 game points saved.
Nice. All
to
right.
tie it, 24 apiece.
That was really good defense from Brendan Long, keeping that point alive and keeping those balls in play. Sometimes you just have to make one more ball.
That's wide. Game point now for Chicago. 25-24. It's wide.
It's
Chicago
wide.
evens it out 1 game apiece. 3 game point.
To play against Jack Monroe, kind of the young dynamic players playing against each other. So I like this matchup for both teams.
Into the net goes Harris.
I also know from having Eric on my team for last season that when it comes to mixed doubles, he likes playing the first mix just because he's already played that men's doubles, so he's warm and ready to go and doesn't get cold from sitting down. So that sometimes that's also, because I like doing that too. I like playing back to back to back. I don't necessarily like sitting and waiting.
Great dink from Jana Newell. Found the outer edge.
And it was very deep as well. Just a little wide from Jana. Trying to change direction. And
just
that
deep.
is a deep return. All right, we are at 3-4 for Chicago Slice. Brendan Long to serve.
Another miss for Jana Newell. A rare sight to see. Brendan Long oversteps, and Eric Lane welcomes the opening.
Yeah. I will also say when it comes to like the women's teams or even the men's teams, whoever played the left side that now has to play the right side and mix sometimes has a slower start because they had just played a full game on the opposite side. So it, for Jana, that might be the case where it just takes a couple of points to kind of get the feel of that right side.
Oh, Ernie just shorts for Jana Newell.
She tried it.
Excuse me, ATP.
Ooh, a little big on that forehand counter. She was ready for it. It just took too big of a swing, a little bit shorter swing, so that she can get down on that counter. Oh. She got what she wanted. She had it. I think the mistakes that Jana's making right now is purely just from going from left side to right side. The angles are different. The ball's coming from a different spot. So that is something I've noticed when I play, that I have to kind of make that adjustment. If I ever play the left side in women's and then I have to play the right side in mix, that's something that I do have to make a conscious effort of. Okay, things are slightly different. You know, the angles, the dinks are different from this side.
Does your mentality change with rally scoring at all?
It did initially. When I first started with rally scoring, it was a little different because for me, I was like, okay, every point is a win or loss. I think as I play it more, I start forgetting about it and just going back to just playing regular, which I think is the best way to play. You can't think too much about, every point you can lose or win. But I do think there's, certain things that you do change and is a little different strategically. Oh, I like the idea. It's very hard to lob Eric Lang, though. He's a tall guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a very tall guy.
It's a tall tree in front of you. Straight ahead.
Yeah. And also the court is shorter, so it's very hard to execute that lob, you know, straight in front of you with a shorter court, a higher net, and a tall guy.
Allison Phillips. Harris, excuse me, says thank you very much.
Chicago Slice leading 8-7 against the SoCal Hard Eights in our first mixed doubles game.
Great defense by Brendan Long to keep it alive.
Yeah. So many times, you know, when people are like, hey, like, what am I supposed to do? Sometimes I just tell myself, make the ball. Just make one more ball. You know, just make balls.
Make them play.
Just make balls. You know, sometimes it's as simple as that. Just putting one more ball in play.
Brendan Long back to serve now to Eric Lang with a 2-point lead.
Ooh.
Brendan Long on the full attack.
Yeah, that was a nice little combo from Brendan there. Eric kind of caught that a little bit behind him. Nice hands from SoCal Hard 8. Yana serving at 8-10.
Ooh, just wide for Yana Newell. This is the Advil targeted relief mid-season tournament. The only tournament like it this season on the Major League Pickleball side, so no standing implications here this weekend, but cash prize on the line. And wow, just back for Eric Lang. Incredible defense here in the corner from Brendan Long, despite feeling some fatigue and illness this morning.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll, I don't know if the viewers can hear it, but from where we are, we can hear Brendan, whenever he hits a shot, he'll say good, which basically means he feels like he's hit a shot that's low enough and it's unattackable that now him or his partner can move forward. So it's kind of a form of communication, like, hey, I just hit a good shot, we can move forward, you know, which I think it's helpful. Like, you know.
Midway through game number 3 here at the MLP midseason tournament. First round action, Chicago Slice up 13-8 on the SoCal Hard Eights, who surrendered 3 game points in the men's doubles game before this one.
I just heard Adam Stone telling Yana, good job of leaning in on that forehand, really taking time away from the opponent.
Whoa, nice shot from Eric Lang.
Nice little nifty one-hand backhand speed up. You don't see those very often, which is probably why it caught Allison Harris off guard, because I don't think anybody was expecting that. Those will always work once.
Drop volley, beautiful roll to finish. Brendan Long is shaking over the game.
Very good mix-up from Brendan, hitting the first 2 hard overheads and then the next one short like a drop shot, bringing his opponents in, putting them on the run.
Beautiful counter from Eric Lang to match.
Yeah, Eric Lang has a very good one-hand backhand counter, so attacking his body is very hard to do because he is usually ready for that one-hand backhand.
11-14 on the side of SoCal, down by 3. That's wide.
Yeah.
More pressure from Eric Lang.
Yeah, it's very hard to attack his body. You almost
So where
have
do
to
you go?
you almost have to do like an off speed, and I would say right side because he does sit backhand heavy and he likes that backhand. Oh, good eye from Yana.
Right back in, and it's a 1-point game. SoCal. One more point to tie it on the serve of Eric Lang. Over to Brendan Long. Eric Lang, as we mentioned, a Major League Pickleball champion with our very own Jessie Irvin, who's in the booth with us. Fresh off her Championship Sunday appearance on the PPA side in San Clemente. In the net goes Brendan Long, and the SoCal Heart Eights tie it up 14 apiece.
Oh, another dink unforced error from the Chicago slice.
I have to wonder when a timeout might be in order on the side of Chicago. We'll see. Ooh, the run will end there. Chicago will take the break and the tie game with it.
So if you'll notice, a lot of the time, especially in mix, most of the returns will go to the guy to keep him back because he's the most aggressive player at the kitchen line. So they try to keep him back a little bit longer. So that's the general strategy. If people notice, oh, why are they kind of hitting their returns to the guy, is usually to keep him back longer.
Might seem counterintuitive to some.
Right.
New to the game, of course.
Yes, exactly. But yes, usually that's kind of like, my first thought would be, okay, who misses more thirds?
Yeah.
The next one is, okay, who is more aggressive at the kitchen? I need to keep them back longer.
Love that.
Oh, nice little shot from Yana Newell there, seeing the opening down the line. And they call a timeout. That's a good timeout. Yeah, that's a good timeout from Chicago Slice.
Yeah. Another return deep to Eric Lang, exactly to your point a moment ago. Well played by Chicago. That one's not coming back. Eric Lang punishes Harris.
That was a great defensive point from Chicago Slice, though.
Yeah,
trying to keep that point alive. I think they did a better job there of like being more involved in the point and kind of structuring it better.
Nice angle by Brendan Long to set up the cross-court winner. I mean, for not being 100%, Brendan Long has been excellent today.
Yeah. There's something about MLP that, you know, brings out the best in everybody. You want to play your best for your team.
Yeah. I think that's got to be the most fun part.
It is.
From a spectator standpoint and from the player standpoint. Brendan Long with a chance to tie it for Chicago. That's wide on the third.
Good eye from SoCal Heart Eights, letting that go wide.
Oh, that's a perfect lob winner.
That is the perfect lob.
Over Eric Lang.
Exactly.
Of all people.
That is the perfect lob. Can't get much better than that.
What was particularly impressive about this play from Harris as we take a look at the replay?
I mean, I think because she has a rolled dink, it's very deceptive. Like, she disguised it really well, so it was hard to read that it was actually going to be a lob. Nice spot down the middle from Eric Lang there.
Eric Lang welcomes the miss-hit pop-up.
And Yana Newell did a very similar thing there. She hit a roll dink before hitting the roll speed up. So again, that kind of having a different types of dinks really gives you more options to disguise your shots going forward.
Oh my, sliding finish. Eric Lang finishes off.
What a point for SoCal Hard 8. Yana Newell with the slide ATP to keep that point alive.
Does the splits, and Eric Lang says, I got you, partner. Point of the match so far.
Very good angle overhead from Eric Lang.
Brendan Long silences the momentum for with a chance to close it out in 2 points. We'll see.
I like that from Chicago Slice. I like the dinking and, you know, kind of having longer points and, you know, getting Allison to dink more with Yana cross court. That was a good play from them.
Game point for the SoCal Hard Eights. Yana Newell the chance to close it out. Great angles from Yana Newell to set up the finish. Eric Lang polishes off game 3, 25-20. So Jack Monroe and Megan Fudge on the other side. Tereshchenko will lead us off with first serve.
Oh, that was nice. We just saw Jack Monroe switch hands there on that overhead. One of the benefits of being ambidextrous. He plays with both hands. Majority lefty, but every now and then he does switch to his right hand. And a miss serve from Megan Fudge. So for this mix, we actually have both of the women in front of each other, which we don't see very often. It does change the dynamic. There's not too many lefties on tour, male lefties, so.
Nice play by Jack Monroe, lefty in the middle. So to your point there,
yeah.
From a female perspective, how does that change your targets on the right side? What's your checklist of strategy? What are you looking to check out first on that list?
Nice.
Tereshchenko uses the let cord.
Yeah, so for me, again, the idea is still, as a female, trying to keep it on the girl as much as possible and then finding ways to get my guy involved. It is harder when the girl is in front of you because the ball does not move across from the guy or in front of him, but
what are some ways you can get the guy involved?
Yeah, so usually what I'll try to do is I'll dink a few straight ahead, and then if I notice the guy coming over, I'll try to dink one behind him to his backhand. which will then help my guy be able to pinch middle a little bit more.
Nice run here for Chicago. Their championship lives depend on it. Double elimination, but once you lose a match, you drop down to the bracket that will only allow you to win third place. So, a lot on the line here for both teams. Terashenko looking for clarity, and the passive line judge in the corner
and
agrees.
They did call it out, yes. I think the other thing I would also use, depending on how comfortable the female is I think dinking cross court to the guy's backhand, especially if they're not super offensive with their backhand, isn't a bad play either. And especially when you have a partner like Max Manthau, who is such a dynamic player and mover, he will find a way to get himself involved. So I don't think that's a bad play either, especially being able to keep the lefty guy's forehand out of the middle, hitting to his backhand. Oh, hands battle! And they both smiled. They both had a good time on that one.
I had you.
They both had a good time on that one.
She said, I got you right where I wanted you. Couldn't close it out, though.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Oh, it hit the top.
Oh, unfortunate. Yep. Fudge, if it were outdoors, may have had
that
another go at that.
That would have been fine outdoors. Indoors, once it hits, you know, anything from the roof, that it's out of play. That is a big serve from Max Manthau.
Nice play by Megan Fudge. Steps just around the kitchen.
I just saw Irina Terashenko mouth that she needed to go back at Megan Fudge with that attack instead of going at Jack Monroe, which I would also agree with. Jack Monroe was ready for her counter, whereas Megan, who is in front of her, is shorter distance, less time to respond, would have probably had less time to react to that ball.
And that's again where maybe that lefty combo delays you a half second with your decision making.
A little awkward spot for Jack Monroe there. He kind of got cramped with the two-hand backhand. A little miscommunication, but they got it done. 2 paddles is better than 1. I think it actually ended up being like an off-speed overhead, which kind of confused Max and Irina there. Oh, nice movement from Max. He's getting his steps in.
Unpredictable speed up, too, falling backwards in the transition area on the backhand side. Who was reading that one?
Yeah.
To be sped up. What a shot from Manthau. Extra steps, extra winners.
Oh, the unfortunate net cord kind of made that an easier shot for Megan Fudge. Sat up a little bit higher.
Wow. Oh, my. Unbelievable coverage from Manthau, and Jack Monroe smelled blood in the water.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jack Monroe come over too much and be too aggressive, but he did a good job there of coming over and closing that point out.
Nice.
Nice. Good hands from both Arena and Max. You know, I think because I play with Hayden Patrickin and Gabe Tardio quite a bit, and they're also young. I think, you know, when you're a young kid, you don't know how much you're allowed to do quite yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Megan did a really good job of shifting early for that forehand counter. And that is one of the benefits of having a lefty. So for Megan, she can shift and hit a harder forehand counter because she knows Jack's forehand is there covering the middle.
And change lead on the side of SoCal. Oh, couple of out balls hitting that sequence. Megan Fudge got the last word.
Yeah, it's tough. It's coming fast, you know, and
especially when it's high.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to letting out balls go, it's something you have to determine before. It's not in the moment. You actually have to determine before it's almost being hit to give yourself time to let it go.
Wow.
Yeah. Megan was ready for that one. I think she saw the little pause from Arena and had a feeling a speed up was coming, was ready for the counter.
Megan Fudge, one of the great moms on tour, balances having 2 kids and travels around the country playing professional pickleball.
Nice. That was a really good shot from Jack Monroe. It was actually like inside his body, and he somehow still hit a forehand that went down at their feet. That was really good. That's some young talent right there. A missed error from Arena.
2-point lead now for the slice. Activated Manthau creates an opening. Megan Fudge survives.
Yeah. No, again, I think that's something, these last few points, Chicago Slice has done a good job of going behind Max and kind of getting it to his backhand and finding that open court, because
Well, Chicago Slice, their only option to win this match is in a dream breaker form. They're hoping to accomplish that here in game number 4. Oh my.
Oh,
Megan
the
Fudge
ATP!
on the backhand
That is a really
side.
good point. Wow.
She has been owning that cross-court corner on Manthau.
I think that has been the difference. That's why they've come back, is finding that opening behind Max Manthau.
Megan Fudge, and the Megan Fudge show continues.
Yes. The only thing I could say for SoCal Hard Eights is maybe try slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because right now, Chicago Slice is very hot with the hands.
A missed return won't help the cause. And Chicago 6 points away from forcing a dream breaker. What a play, Jack Monroe. And finish it down the middle, 20-13, a stunning scoreline here in game number 4. Every game has been so close, except for this one.
Yeah, they did a very good job of making the proper adjustments to pull ahead.
Miss from Irina goes long. Chicago 4 points away.
I think we all want to see a dream breaker. Let's be
Absolutely.
honest.
First match of the day, why not?
Exactly. I think that's a better point from SoCal Hard Eights. They slowed it down a little bit. You know, I think you have to recognize, even when it's your strength, that you want to play fast. If the other team is doing a better job of executing on that, and change it up a little bit. So that was a good point from SoCal Hard Eights.
Wow, hands battle won by SoCal, and started with some resets, and then Manthau got a hold of it.
He's like,
sped it up.
Not today. Today we're playing fast.
Net cord is wide.
The net cord goes wide.
Closing stretch here for Chicago. Jack Monroe gets his team 2 points away from taking game 4.
He did a really good job of kind of timing the close on the middle, because he kind of waited and hung back a little bit. And I think Max thought it was open, and then he snuck in at the last second with his forehand.
Megan Fudge pulls the trigger from down low.
Honestly, though, it was a really good spot for her, because she had noticed that Max had run around his backhand to hit a forehand dink, so that middle was open.
Game point here
attack
for Chicago. Jack Monroe closes out the 4th game. To a dream breaker we go. You asked for it. Manthau comes away with the opening points. Is there more pressure on the guy or the girl in this scenario?
I have to think the guy, just in general. You know, I don't think.
It's a nice return by Fudge. She closes to the kitchen and gets one back. Megan Fudge looking to be the hero.
Yeah.
2 more points between these two. What a play by Megan Fudge. Manthau, I felt, hit an out serve.
Yeah, it looked like Eric Lang was trying to tell him that the serve was out, but he played it.
1 more point. Wide for
All right,
Fudge.
they tied it. It's tied.
Out
Going into
comes
this second round.
Yeah, second round is Eric Lang on the SoCal Hard Eights, far side of your screen, and Jack Monroe for 4 points. Eric Lang sneaks one cross court, takes the first point.
I know that's something that Eric Lang has really been working on, is trying to get in some more singles practice and just figuring things out, because he's not really a singles player. So
Nice.
Oh, nice.
You wouldn't know it from that shot.
Yeah, yeah. That's just, that's what putting in the reps and the drilling helps. It helps with moments like this.
Well, especially when you're coming out for 4 points. Winner again.
Wow.
Inside in goes Eric Lang for 3 points.
Yeah.
Can he get the sweep? Wide, and Jack Monroe comes away with 1 and a 2-point lead.
I would still say that's a very good run for Eric Lang. I don't think he necessarily went into that. I think for a lot of times when you're not a singles player, you kind of go in hoping, let's just 2-2, or just let me get 1 or 2 here. But that was a good run for Eric Lang there.
Yana Newell and Allison Harris battle out for the next 4 points. Allison Harris takes the first. Great groundies from Allison Harris.
That was a big serve, big drive from Allison Harris. Kept her on offense that whole point.
Central Arkansas product, Division I college tennis. She roped that backhand and couldn't believe what Yana Newell got back.
I think she hesitated because she didn't think her own shot was going to stay in.
Yana Newell gets 1.
Yeah, good job for Yana being able to get out there and keep it in play.
A split performance, 2 and 2. So out comes the next mixed gender doubles matchup in singles. Irina Tereshchenko taking on Brendan Long for 4 points. That's deep. Tereshchenko takes the first.
Oh, yeah.
Winner off the tape. She'll take it.
Nice.
2-0 Tereshchenko. Brendan Long battling through some illness today. This could be where it hurts Chicago. ATP is short for Brendan Long.
Just
that
a
was
little wide.
Tough break.
It was a good effort, though, because I like the idea. I think it was there if he had used his left hand and carved it a little bit more on the outside.
Inside out, Brendan Long will take 1, shrugs his shoulders after that sequence. 4-point lead now for SoCal. Megan Fudge back out against Max Manthau. Such good lateral movement on both sides.
Point. Good
Wanted
hops.
extra steps.
Yeah.
Getting some jump work in too. Oh, I don't know. I thought that was long.
It looked a little long. But
Eric Lang is frustrated that he's not calling it, but I also respect the generosity on the side of Manthau.
Yes. It's good karma. It'll come back.
It's a good
That's
boy.
what I always believe.
That's wide.
Oh.
2 points to Megan Fudge. A 2-point split, by the way, in the first 2 rounds between those two. And a couple of those could be because of a
generous
line call. Yeah. Out comes Eric Lang and Jack Monroe.
Oh, that is a nice point
sneaky.
from Jack Monroe, yes. Oh.
Missing to that. Jack Monroe pulls within 2.
Yeah.
2 more points.
That was a nice change of serve from Jack. He sliced that serve instead. Always good to kind of give your opponents a different look when it comes to serves.
Oh, no. Tough bounce.
It hit the
Eric Lang survives.
Nice.
2-point lead continues for SoCal, but that was close to being a tie game there for Jack Monroe. Yana Newell looking to take on Allison Harris.
Another benefit for Jack when you're when you have 2 forehands for singles.
Yeah, good point.
He used it on that last point.
That's
that is a nice drop shot volley from Yana Newell. I think that's something we'll probably start seeing more in women's singles is that drop shot volley. Because a lot of these girls come from tennis, so they have the big baseline or ground strokes.
That's deep. Yana Newell takes 2.
So I think once the girl comes into the kitchen, if they can drop shot that and hit it short and low. Ooh.
That's a great point for Allison Harris. These two split 2 points apiece in the first round. Chance to do the same here for Harris. Cross court she goes, and into Jessie Irvin goes Yana Newell. Great catch.
You know, I tried. I was trying to like not do any harm.
2 point split there. Irina Terashenko and Brendan Long come out for 4 more points. Irina took 3 last time. Inside out goes Terashenko, the 5-time MLP champ.
She did a very good job of staying calm and not panicking and, you know, just hitting the right shot. Sometimes we overthink it and try to do too much in those situations.
Nice, same spot.
Nice read. That was a really good on-the-run kind of reset backhand drop that Irina just hit. It is very hard to do that when you're on the full run, to be able to control the ball softly like that. Oh, nice point. Brendan Long needed that point.
1 more point between these two. Oh, nice cross-court winner for Brendan Long, 2 points apiece. Out comes Max Manthau and Megan Fudge. Keep an eye on the line calls here for Manthau. He's been generous. We'll see if that good karma comes back. Nice. Have to wonder if Eric Lang maybe encouraged him on the sideline to start calling those.
Ooh. Yeah.
What a play by Max Manthau, activated.
He is quick. He ran all the way around to hit a forehand from the left sideline and then got all the way back in time to hit a forehand from the right sideline.
Fleet of foot, 2 points left. That's wide.
Pulls
Fudge
it
gets
wide.
one back. Last point. Max Manthau could earn a match point here on his side. Lets it go and finally calls it long. There you go,
There
Max. 3-1 in
Good
that
eye
sequence.
from Max there.
Eric Lang with a chance to take the match.
This is where you got to go big serve.
Match point
Big
number
serve.
1 for the Hard Eights.
Oh,
Wow, unbelievable
wow.
angle, and Eric Lang
what
takes
a
it.
backhand roll drop from Eric Lang. That was big for SoCal Hard Eights.
Yeah, the championship still alive.